sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I am trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday and through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a live broadcast, go to Reaver.1, click on the live stream. We now have a way for you to support the show. Go to the show and SHR Media. Go to Reaver.1, click on the Reaver store. Well, t-shirts, coffee mugs, Reaver jerseys, SHR Media jerseys, everything. And many other items to choose from. So, I'm not going to go over it today, but I just came across an article that Cruz is confident that when Trump does not make it, all his supporters will rally around Cruz. This man's delusional. Seriously, something is wrong with this man. Something is not equaling out. Last night, it was like around 2, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. I just could not put my finger on it. Something seemed very much out of the ordinary with Cruz's sex scandal. Something didn't seem right. And one of the things, if I finally put a finger on it, he wasn't acting right for a man that was just accused of sleeping with several women. He wasn't acting right. And I've still yet to hear him outright deny having the affairs. Now, just bear with me. I know he has said that the tabloid is false. It's a trash magazine. But I have not any man and any woman accused of cheating on their spouse, especially if innocent. First thing they go to, and they will keep going to, I did not cheat on my other half. I did not cheat on my wife. I did not cheat on my wife. This is bull. I did not cheat on on my wife. You'd be repeating that statement without realizing you're actually saying it. And he hasn't done that. Another thing, any person in that type of position would be talking about lawsuit. If it's false, it is something you can sue over. Well, technically, you can sue for anything. But this would have grounds. He has not talked about that. The only thing he does is point his finger at Trump. And to say it's Trump's fault. Even though it has been found out that it was Rubio campaign. Which leads me to wonder. Either I can only see like two scenarios. That he actually had the affairs is one. Or this whole thing is a drummed up, fake accusation to gin up the base with sympathy so that he can then blame it on Trump. This man isn't innocent in this. His body language, his actions, his verbal do not match the accusations. And that was something that was missing. Something just... And you ask me, why would he make up this affair? Well, that would explain why Rubio had passed it along. And it would, everybody get sympathetic behind him, and it would increase his voters. Make Donald look bad. But you do not get accused of sleeping with 5 women and then act like that. You might go about blaming the other people for the rumor if it wasn't true, but you would be adamant. You'd be out there repeatedly denying. And what he's done is not denying. This seems like a dog and pony show. Like, this is all set up. No, I'm not accusing it of being set up. This is my opinion. This is what it looks like. Or the guy is guilty as hell. One thing that, well, there's many things that EMS taught me. And one of them is body language. Yes, your patients lie to you all the time. Family members lie to you all the time. And you have to know how to God, I'm still tired. Glass is smudged. Just it is not equaling up. And if someone can come up with a better idea of why he's acting that way, and no, it isn't because he's upset that he's got accused. Because any man accused would not be acting as he has. Like I said, his body language just does not match the situation. He has not out straight denied this. And like I said, it could be he's guilty as hell for this. He could be guilty and have slept with all these women and more. And yes, I could see women sleeping with him. Some women, power is an aphrodisiac to them. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that that's the way life is. Not because I'm a Trump supporter, but it wouldn't make sense why Trump would release that story and have his spokeswoman involved in it, that would drag him into it. But I could see starting that issue between the wives and then dumping this story to gin up sympathy votes. I would not put it past a politician. And I know the Cruz supporters are screaming, no, he wouldn't do that, he wouldn't do that. He's a fucking politician. He'll do it. This man, whether you want to admit it or not, this man has been nothing but a dog and pony show since the day he stepped into the Senate. He is a dog and pony show leading up to the presidential. Everything's been choreographed. He is behind certain bills until it's found out it is not popular. Then he was always against that bill. Or even vice versa. He was always against that bill until he found out it was popular to be behind that bill. Then he was always behind that bill. Facts are facts, and they show it. And that's a word everybody throws around, and I hate doing it, and I fell into one of my old pitfalls. It's a fact. It's a fact. Everybody says that on social media. It's a fact. No, it isn't. That's your opinion. And just as that was my opinion. It's... Cruz is not the clean-cut Christian boy everybody is looking at. He is a manufactured candidate. What more can I say? When the scandal, like I said, something doesn't add up. His body language does not add up. You accuse me of sleeping with other women. I'm not going to be out there going, well, look at the newspaper. It's a false accusation. Yep. It's Trump's fault. Yeah, it's Trump's fault. Trump's the one that started it. No, I'm going to be out there screaming, hooting, hollering, and pleading my innocence. Not sitting there all calm. Now, I don't care if it's been a day, 2 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm still going to be hopping around screaming, I did not. But now we have also given Bill Clinton a way out. Because now he can scream that he did not have sexual relationships with those women. But Ted Cruz did. And if those that don't know, that was a joke. It's the more, and a lot of people are seeing it, and a lot of people were Ted Cruz supporters. Their eyes are opening up that this man is a walking, talking dog and pony show. And if you don't know what that means, everything's choreographed within his campaign. Everything's done for a purpose to make him look like something he's not. Now, I could be on here screaming, yelling, cussing. Yeah. I get tired of the Ted Cruz pony show. I really am wondering if they have it locked up to steal this election. And yes, I'm using the word steal. And anybody thinks, no, I don't even know anymore. Because this man, Cruz, he's part of the establishment. It's been a dog and pony show. So, I don't know. They're doing everything and they're talking. Changing the rules. Even if Trump gets to the 1237, they're talking about changing the rules. They're doing anything and everything to try to keep that man out of office. Because they're scared. And I've read a piece, a beautiful piece, and it was written by a Cruz supporter. The man has open eyes. He's supporting Cruz, and he has the right to. But he could see the bullshit that is going on surrounding Trump. He could see it. He could see what the GOP is doing. He could see what Ted Cruz is doing. So, as we know, Ted Cruz has gotten extra delegates out of Louisiana. Trump won Louisiana, but Ted Cruz is going to walk out with more delegates because he's playing a little game in the background that wasn't announced that it was going on of convincing delegates of candidates that have dropped out to support Cruz. So Trump hires a Reagan and Ford delegate manager to try to stave off the establishment's convention hopes. What that is in hopes of staving off the GOP's establishment effort to block his nomination at a contested convention, GOP frontrunner Donald Trump hired a new delegate manager who has successfully led similar convention battles over the past several decades. Trump's hired delegate manager Paul Manafort to lead his GOP convention efforts and shore up enough delegates to ensure he wins the nomination on the first ballot at the GOP presidential convention in Cleveland in July. Manafort is well known in GOP circles because in 1976, on behalf of then-President Gerald Ford, who ascended to the presidency without being elected because of Richard Nixon's Watergate-driven resignation, Manafort successfully fended off future President Ronald Reagan in a delegate battle that may end up looking a lot like 2016. Thanks to Manafort's work for Ford that year, the incumbent president barely held on to the party's nomination, beating back Reagan's challenge. So, in a lot of damn words and a lot of huff and puffing, Trump has hired a very successful delegate manager. The guy's job will be to gin up extra delegates. He worked for and successfully with Gerald Ford. But 4 years later, when Ford faced a similar but less complicated delegate battle in 1980, he hired Manafort to lead his successful delegate fight at the convention that year. Reagan, of course, would go on to win the nomination and then win the White House back for the Republicans from the failing Carter. Manafort also played a leading role in the 1980s GOP convention, which nominated then future President George H.W. Bush, and in the 1996 convention, which nominated then Senator Majority Leader Bob Dole as the GOP presidential nominee. Dole would go on to lose the general election to incumbent Democratic President Bill Clinton. Yes, Trump told the New York Times when asked to confirm the news he hired Manafort. It is true. This also brings a little bit more credibility to Trump's election run. The man knows who to hire and who to surround himself with. He's been doing it for years, and he's doing it with this election. Love him or hate him, he has been surrounding himself with the best of the best. No question about it. It's just the games that have to go on. This rule, like it, love it, hate it, whatever. This rule was put in because of a time when candidates could not travel through the United States. They had to have a way to make sure they had a nominee every year. This is from a bygone era. And it should just be put to the wayside. What shouldn't be put to the wayside is... That's right, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHRmedia.com. Trying to make sense out of the senseless right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlanePunditRadio.com. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying half of the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the ReaverOfCommonSense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com, click on the chat room button, join the conversation. If you want to support the show, or if you want to support shrmedia.com, just go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store, Snatch up a t-shirt, coffee mug. We even have a Reaver jersey and an SHR Media jersey. A lot of other items to choose from. Get them while they're hot. Talking about Trump, and he's now hired Manford, who helped Gerald Ford, Ronald Reagan. He's worked for George H.W. Bush and Bob Dole, was it? Yeah, Bob Dole. And the man is very well respected within the realm. It was written, under those circumstances, Mr. Trump's opponents hope they can wrestle that prize away from him in a contested convention. Bringing Mr. Manford on board may shore up Mr. Trump's operation in an area where his opponents currently see him as vulnerable. An alarming tactical setback for Mr. Trump, the Wall Street Journal reported last week that he may harvest fewer delegates from his primary win in Louisiana than Senator Ted Cruz, whose campaign has aggressively picked off delegates who are uncommitted or appropriated to candidates no longer in the race. Too many missteps of that kind could force Mr. Trump unnecessarily into a Cleveland floor fight. Similar reports in recent days have cropped up in Missouri, South Dakota, South Carolina, and many other states where Trump has dominated with the public but still infuriates party insiders. The addition to Manford to his team, it decreases the likelihood that Senator Ted Cruz or Ohio Governor John Kasich, any other campaigns who has since suspended, or the party itself, can pull off major delegate shenanigans in Cleveland. It's mind-numbing, all this BS that's going in the background. Trump has been aiming to pivot to the general election sooner rather than later, in a large part because his only two remaining competitors, Cruz and Kasich, cannot realistically beat him without a contested convention. Cruz would have to reach nearly 90% of the party's remaining outstanding delegates to get there, a virtual insurmountable feat, while it's already mathematically impossible for Kasich to get there. Anti-Trump's force inside the GOP have hung all their hopes on a contested convention, and Trump's Manford hire could stave off those efforts. A fierce battle lay ahead over the next several days, heading into next Tuesday's Wisconsin GOP primary, where different polls show the candidate bunched up, competing closely within the margin of error, some with Cruz in front and some with Trump in front. You wouldn't know it by media. They all say how Cruz has a commanding lead now, but it's not exactly true. The one poll with Cruz ahead has him ahead by 1%. A Trump win in the Badger State would devastate the so-called Never Trump group, whereas a Trump loss to Cruz would embolden his critics. Then 2 weeks later, it is Trump's home state of New York where the real estate magnate is expected to dominate. After that, the rest of the Eastern Seaboard, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Delaware, Pennsylvania, and Maryland votes before the end of April. That is where I think Trump's going to have some good days right there. Not that he hasn't had good days. He's had some great days. Some huge days. No, I can't do it. He has more of a name recognition in that Northeast corridor than anybody else. Cruz has insulted the Northeast corridor with, "I know about your New York values." Yeah. And he still thinks he can win New York after insulting them. And if he wins New York after insulting them, that would show that this country is done with. I don't think it's going to be. New Yorkers are a lot smarter than that. And I keep hearing Trump can't win in the general election. I've been hearing that for the past, 6, 7, 8 months Trump can't win, and he has. I've been hearing he's not serious about it. Well, he's leading. Every time they say he can't do it, he's been doing it. And it boggles my mind. In May, Indiana, Nebraska, West Virginia, Oregon, and Washington State hold nominating contests before the final votes are casted before the July convention on June 7th. In California, Montana, New Jersey, New Mexico, and South Dakota. Theoretically, Trump could wrap everything up before or on June 7th. But it's a tough road. There are also hundreds of delegates who are entirely uncommitted walking into the convention whom Trump could get to vote for him. Something Manafort is undoubtedly already working on achieving. I would rather see him wrap this up early. Then he could start on Hillary. I really think there's a good possibility. He only needs like 43. I mean, the number keeps changing. Every person has their own number. It's rated in the 40% mark. It's less than 50, higher than 40. And he's been hitting those numbers pretty consistently. He could wrap it up. Then the party can just knock the bullshit off. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of these. Everybody has the right to support who they want. But it just seems like sour milk. I'm going to do a write-in because if my candidate doesn't make it, I'm not voting. It seems like they're taking their toys and going home. Do you know how many times I voted for the person that I didn't want? Because the person I wanted didn't make it. And this crying in the background is annoying. It just sounds like you are a sore loser. It's like this all or nothing mentality. And then if Trump supporters say the same thing, see, you guys just want to split the party. You want to destroy the conservative party. And I see it time and time again. And don't say, no, that doesn't happen. Because you are a fucking liar. People on social media, Trump supporter, Kasich supporter, Bush supporter, Cruz supporter, there is groups that are too immature to be on Facebook, to be on Twitter. This isn't one candidate only doing it. This is all supporters doing it. They're acting like children and lashing out and thinking just because they got a screen in front of them, they can say and do whatever they want. Well, there's some people finding out that you can't say whatever you want over a computer. And I'm talking about threats that have been laid down. I have been threatened several times now because of my support for Trump. It gets tiresome. People, when you're on social media, don't have that, what my mom would call liquid courage back in the day. When you're drunk or you get alcohol and you become tougher than you actually are, it usually gets you knocked on your ass. People are getting computer courage. Knock it off. You'll look like a keyboard commando. You're not impressing anybody. Let's get through the primary and try to be civil to each other. And don't point your finger, because I was in one goddamn forums page, whatever you want to call it. And it was talking about how everybody's been acting irrational. And everybody was saying, yeah, we all been a little bit, we've all seen both sides doing it. And this one person jumps in, yeah, but I've only seen Trump supporters. They're the lowest. And just started to lay in with the bullshit about what the article was talking. So I posted screenshots of Cruz supporters in their mouths. Surprise, surprise, the person shut theirs. The move hiring Manafort is freighted with political symbolism. After the 1980 election, Mr. Manafort was amongst the Young Guns Reagan operatives who founded one of Washington's best-known political consulting and lobby shops. His principal business partners were Roger J. Stone Jr., a longtime Trump confidant who frequently advocates for the campaign on TV, and Charles R. Black Jr., Mr. Kex unveiled Mr. Trump. Woo! Mr. Kasich unveiled Mr. Black as an advisor early this month, and an announcement intended to convey his readiness for a contested convention, effectively making Mr. Black and Mr. Manafort allies dating back to 1970s, direct competitors in the 2016 race. Kasich is an anti-Second Amendment, pro-Obamacare candidate. He would, as he said, he would look at the current Supreme Court nominee if anyone is the Democrat, that man is truly a Democrat. That man should be in the Democrat Party. He is not even a moderate conservative. He is a liberal. That is the one people should be going after, but no, they fear Trump. And we've talked about it. They would rather have Hillary, the butcher of Benghazi, than have Trump get in. Why? Because the money train that has been running on the backs of the American people will stop. It will stop dead in its tracks. And they know that. And that's why they sit here and play all these games. And I can't believe that people can't open their eyes. You can back Cruz all you want. But believing all the bullshit that's being placed into the media, and even your anti-establishment candidate spewing the establishment's talking points to try to hurt Trump. It's just very, very amazing. And it's amazing I'm still going so long. I am the Reaver of Common Sense, right here on shrmedia.com and hppundit.com. We'll be right back.
Conservative Media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying half of the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and making sense out of the senseless is what I do. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to join the live chat, go to shrmedia.com, click on the chat room button, join the conversation. If you want to watch the broadcast, go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. And lastly, show your support for the show and show your support for SHR Media. Go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store, snatch up a t-shirt, coffee mug, or even a Reaver jersey, SHR Media jersey. Many items to choose from. You can even get a beer cozy with the Reaver or SHR Media. So, Black Lives Matter leader says that we will incite riots everywhere if Trump wins. So now we have, I don't want to say they're a terrorist group, but they're making terroristic threats. They're trying to make threats of violence because they don't like a certain political candidate. Yeah, let a Tea Party group say that. Let the Tea Party members say, we will riot, we will incite riots, and see what happens. They would be lambasted. They were lambasted for not even causing violence. Though the outcome of America's presidential election is still up in the air, Black Lives Matter has made it clear that one outcome is certain. If Donald Trump is the victor, violence will erupt in the streets. According to rapper and activist Tef Poe, who he took to Twitter to say, "Dear white people, if Trump wins, young N-word, such as myself, are fully hell-bent on inciting riots everywhere we go, just so you know." If you're unsure who Tef Poe is, don't worry, you're not alone. All you really need to know about him is that he is the co-founder of the Hands Up United organization out of the Ferguson, Missouri. His organization chose its name based off the false narrative that Michael Brown, a teenage thug, had his hands up and back turned to Officer Darren Wilson when he was shot. Forensic and eyewitness evidence have since proven that story to be wrong. The Black Lives Matter movement continues to spread it as it were true. Tef Poe told News One that the Hands Up, Don't Shoot movement represents that Mike Brown was unarmed. Hands up or not, he didn't have a weapon. Well, I beg to differ. I really beg to differ. Forensic evidence and a grand jury found that, weapon or not, Michael Brown was assaulting a police officer and trying to take Officer Darren Wilson's gun. Forensic evidence and grand jury found, weapon or not, Michael Brown was assaulting a police officer and trying to take Officer Darren Wilson's gun. Trump wins, ain't no more rules, famo. We've been too nice as it is. Tef Poe is now serving as a top leader in the group Black Lives Matter that is often mocked for its black supremacist ideas by being referred to only as Black Lives Matter. He also used social media to say, Trump wins. He just keeps repeating himself. Since the comment from Poe have caught the public's attention, the Black Lives Matter leader has since deleted the post with accusation that he is being slandered. The screenshot was offered by InfoWars before it was deleted. And from his tweet, long story short, you know the drill. Inaccurate info, slandered, can't stop the wave. We're on a love vibration right now. And it was put underneath, responded, slander, you tweeted and deleted. Now you cry slander, typical false victim. And a copy of the tweet was posted there. Is there still issues in this country? Yes. This narrative that cops are gunning down black people, well, statistics say different. The numbers say different. There's more black on black crime than anything. But that's never discussed by any of these groups. In fact, it's ignored. And if you bring it up, you're called a racist. There's a lot of us that don't like what we see. And I would love to see it stop. But when we bring it up, we're called racist. The false narratives that are being pushed are mind-boggling. And the irony of it is these groups are actually turning on the Democrats and Democrats candidates. They created Frankenstein's monster, and now the monster wants to destroy its creator. But the funny thing is, Frankenstein doesn't realize it and just goes about as if they are still in control. No, I'm not calling Black Lives Matter monsters. What I'm doing is making an analogy between Black Lives Matter and the Democrats to Dr. Frankenstein creating something that then went on to try to kill its creator. Trump is now, and others say, Cruz campaign bought rights to nude photos of Melania. I wish they would stop using the word nude because, well, nude, I think of female anatomy that is not desirably to be shown in public is being shown. But Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump on Sunday slammed rival Ted Cruz for the recent ad produced by an anti-Trump super PAC featuring a photo of Trump's wife posing nude. From what I hear, he and his campaign went out and bought the cover shoot. Melania did a cover story on GQ, a very strong modeling picture. No big deal. But it was a cover story for the GQ, a big magazine, and it was, fine. And from what I hear, somebody bought the rights to it, and he was the one, or his campaign bought the rights, and they gave it to a super PAC. I've also heard the super PAC referred to as that little tiny super PAC. They're picking on them that they did this. If you look, that is no tiny little super PAC. That PAC is also part of, combined with, partnership with, whichever way they want to put it, Carly Fioroni's campaign. The addresses are the same. And to try to sit there, they're going after this one. These people are as bad as Obama. And what I mean by that is they take no responsibility. They're pointing their fingers everywhere else. And they don't realize that's the same bullshit everybody is tired of. That's what I'm getting tired of. These political games that Cruz and his campaign are running. It is sickening. I'm tired of it. I mean, how many times do we have to keep electing idiots like this before we realize we're doing the same thing over and over again? getting the same results over and over again. And that's what Cruz will be. This next story I want to get to after the break. Let's see. What do we have? Got about 4 minutes before the break. And let's go with this. So now Rick Perry, what was he, the first one out of the race? At contested convention, real Republicans will support Ted Cruz. I love how they have to try to throw that in there, that real conservatives, real Republicans will support Ted Cruz. When you start doing that, that screams red flag to me. When you have to do that shit, it screams red flag, warning. On Fox News Channel, Sunday Morning Futures, former Governor Rick Perry, also a former Republican presidential candidate, says if the nomination comes down to a contested convention, real Republicans will support Senator Ted Cruz. Sort of like they didn't support your ass. It's funny, he's getting all these mouthpieces anymore. And a lot of them lost to Trump. It's like the who lost to Trump support for Cruz. Perry said in the second ballot, they are freed up. They can go wherever they want. I'll suggest to you those are going to be what I refer to as a real Republicans. They're activist Republicans. No, they're establishment Republicans. They will bend over for the establishment. Talking about they are solidly in the pro-life, pro-traditional family economic world that you find most Republicans. I love how he thinks he knows what's actually out there. If he knew what was out there, he still would be running. If he knew what was out there, he would be leading. Guess he doesn't know as much as he's running his mouth about. This one really pissed me off. And he goes on, you've seen in a lot of states is that, Donald Trump credits, he's brought in a lot of people in that aren't Republicans, that are basically Democrats. But they kind of are intrigued by him or what have you. So your idea, Rick Perry, your brilliant idea besides running for president, your brilliant idea is insult the new incomers into the Republican Party. The people you've been trying to get to switch parties all these years, insult them. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. That's it. I mean, now I don't know why you are not the presidential campaign. With ideas like that to support people that are switching into the Republican Party to grow and make it better, your idea is to insult them. Bravo. I mean, please. I want to change my vote to Rick Perry. I want to change my vote to Rick Perry. I mean, Jesus Christ. If that guy was that smart to do that, think of how bad he would fuck this country up. What a freaking moron. You've been wanting for years to bring people over. People start coming over. And what do? You insult them. Oh my God, that takes a high level of stupidity. High level of stupidity. I can't even think of a smart ass comment to say, because that one is mind numbing. And I would have to kill off millions of brain cells so that I could understand the logic behind that. I don't understand people sometimes. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com. We'll be right back.
Media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cough was stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverbcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch the broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. Now, there was something my daughter told me, and she's 12. And she's like, Dad, you know what you need to do? You need to remember to tell everybody that if they like your show, if they like the broadcast on YouTube, to comment and to click subscribe. I was sitting there like, oh my God, I just got marketing advice from my 12-year-old daughter. And the scary part is she's right. I never do that, and I do need to mention that. And just subscribe. Go to youtube.com and type in search Reaver of Common Sense and subscribe. You'll get an update on the shows. And I got to build up the audience on YouTube. And once I get over a certain number, then I can apply for a static IP, or not an IP address, but a static address, web address. But yeah, so if you liked it, if you like the show, comment and hit subscribe if you would. That's the way my daughter can get off my back. And if you want to support the show, or if you want to support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one and click on the Reaver store. Snatch up a t-shirt, coffee mug, or even a Reaver jersey, SHR jersey, and many other items to choose from. As I said, I was going to hit this topic when we got back. So Glenn Beck and Milo from Breitbart, they seem to be having a little Twitter war, or social media war. And of course, Glenn Beck has hit back and called Milo Goebbels. His evil Trump Twitter defense poison to the Republic. Whenever Glenn Beck can, he runs to the Nazi. He starts accusing everybody of being part of the Nazi party. You know, that's his go-to. Monday on his radio show, Glenn Beck called Breitbart's Milo Goebbels and denounced one of his recent articles as one of the more evil stories I have ever read. He blasted Breitbart for pushing poison to the Republic. Beck's point of contention was a story that Milo did penned last week regarding a Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump's retweet of an image of his opponent, Ted Cruz. Well, his wife, Heidi Cruz, along with his wife, Melania Trump. Milo argued that there was some merit to Trump's controversial retweet, which has been adjudicated in the media for over nearly a week now. Beck, however, took issue with Milo's defense. I don't want to make this a Donald thing. I want to make this about you and our society, and I want you to decide if this is who you are. I believe this is one of the more evil stories I've ever... How many times have we heard it? This is one of the most evil stories. And who the hell is he to start talking with morals and what our society thinks and... Who does... Beck's head is larger... I don't know. His ego has blown up so damn big. He thinks he's like Moses or something, the way he preaching and telling all these stories, and he sees this one as this and this one as that. It is getting... And here we go. Similar to his comparison last month, Breitbart's news executive chairman and Sirius XM radio host Stefan Bannon, whatever, to the infamous Nazi propaganda minister, Beck also labeled Milo effort as Goebbels. Just listen to the way this is written, he had. This is Goebbels. Every time, and all the Trump supporters are brown shirts. His go-to is to accuse of Nazi. Well, Milo responded to Beck's on-air meltdown. This is the same guy that went to apologize for insulting Christians by tripling down again on everything and blaming everybody but himself for his comments and saying that it was taken out of context when it wasn't taken out of context. This man is psychologically damaged. He needs help. I don't know if he's drinking too much, doing drugs, or just believes his own bullshit. Either way, he needs to take a reality check, Beck does. But on his meltdown, remarked, it's so weird that he would go with Goebbels. Excuse me, it's actually Milo making this comment. It's so weird that he would go with Goebbels when there are so many gay Nazis to choose from. Typically lazy. When people wheel out Hitler and the Nazis, it's generally because they don't have any argument left. Beck, who read Milo's piece in its entirety on the air, warned that the culture is under attack and that this is a sign we are headed towards French Revolution. Our country is under attack and just prepare because we are headed towards the French Revolution. Well, if you're leading the French Revolution, Beck, it's going to be a short-lived revolution. I don't think you could lead lemmings off of a cliff. Beck is alienating his own audience. He is insulting his own audience. And those that don't agree, he labels with Nazism and all this other crap. So, if you don't agree, you're a Nazi. If you don't believe and follow him, you're a Nazi. Well, Glenn Beck, I'm about tired of your mouth. And it doesn't... I'm tired of it. I find your mouth sick, revolting. Anybody that listens to you, and they have the right to, but I wonder where they're really at. You are demented at this point. Either you're suffering, as I said, from some psychological issue, or you just gone plain loco. Batshit crazy. Call in the rubber room, whatever you want to say. It just, I don't know. I know you're losing supporters and listeners. I know I am some little small potatoes. But it hasn't gone to my head. I speak what I think. I say my opinions. And I still say, if you want to support Cruz, go right ahead. It's your right. I am not going to mock you. I'm not going to say nothing about it. I'm not even going to try to tell you how bad Cruz is. Do I talk bad about Cruz with my opinion on why I don't support him? Yes, I do. Do I tell that you shouldn't support him? You'll never hear that out of my mouth. Because it is your God-given right in this country, and that is one of the few things that are supposed to separate us from all the other countries. We have the freedom to support whoever we want to run for office without intimidation, whether physical or psychological. You want to have discussions? Fine. Discussions are great. Discussions are great. The other bullshit stuff that Glenn Beck does is overrated. White noise, it should be. But right now, that white noise is drowning out all the other stuff. And that's what they're counting on. They want to drown out all the other stuff and just make it look like a negative that you want to support Trump. And my mom keeps saying, why do they keep doing all this? Why do they say Trump's not doing this? He can't win all that. And I was, Mom, they're playing a psychological game on you. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, they want you to think that there's no way in hell Trump can win. And what is most people's instinct at that point? Fine, we'll get behind Ted Cruz. Might as well just give in and just end it now. That's what they're counting on, and that's what they're hoping for. But what we need to do is make sure that we stay the course and we keep going in this direction. That we do not allow them to discourage us from voting for who we want. Whoever that candidate is. And you can go through every single one of my shows. You will never hear me say, do not support this person. I may not understand why somebody supports somebody. But I'm not going to tell you not to support anybody. As much as I don't like it, and I could see where the point is that if you don't vote, it's a vote for Hillary. I don't see it that way. My opinion is it sounds like you're being a sore loser. There's many thousands, upon thousands, hundreds of thousands of people whose candidate don't make it every 4 years that stole back the ultimate candidate. That is the process of the United States. That's the way we're supposed to do things. And it seems more now than ever. And you would think people would understand that it has caused Obama. Some people, groups of people didn't like Romney, so they stayed home, which is their right. But it gave us a second term of Obama. It's you're right to do it, but then don't bitch when things don't turn out that great. Back who you want. Vote for who you want. But also give the same respect to the next person. It's scrolling through my notes. I went way past where I was talking about. Beck is a dangerment to Cruz's campaign. If anything is going to cost him to drop, that is going to be one of the main issues. It's Beck is running his mouth and trying to convince people that he is some kind of Messiah, that he is some kind of prophet. He's nothing more than a 2-bit TV evangelist. He is what was made fun of all those years. He gives religion a bad name. He gives Christianity a bad name. He gives the Republican Party a black eye. I wouldn't let that guy represent a pile of dog shit because he would give it a bad name. No, I do not like Beck. He is an overbearing, egotistical, person that uses religion as his mouthpiece. And that's what I don't like. have your religion, believe in what you want. But when you start having people like him screaming, yelling, hooping, hollering, crying, getting down on his knees every 5 seconds, he is the one that I believe is a false preacher. I don't think he believes the rhetoric he says. As long as people follow him, he'll say what he wants to. Well, it's that time for a break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on shrmedia.com and hppundit.com. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying half the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Trying to make sense of the senseless, and it's a hard job to do. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. If you like the show, comment and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Of course, my daughter had to tell me to do that. I've been a couple weeks now doing this, and she's like, you really need to do that, Dad. I'm like, shit. All right, you're right. Damn it, 12-year-old's telling me marketing advice. And by the way, hi, Dave. Dave, the unpleasant guy, is in the chat room. If you want to support the show or SHR Media, go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store, snatch up a t-shirt, coffee mug. We got Reaver jerseys and SHR Media jerseys and many other items to choose from. We got hoodies. We got bags, floor mats. We even got iPad or iPhone tough covers. Now, I was kind of running behind. To tell you, my wife was like, damn, you're in a bad mood last night. Well, my small tank, I have several fish tanks. I got like a 20-gallon, a 55, and a 90. And I was going to feed my fish because it's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday I feed my fish. I noticed the filter wasn't running in my small tank. And I've had well, they're not exactly babies anymore, but they're not adult guppies. I like guppies. I love the color on them. And I noticed the filter wasn't running. I'm like, shit. Filter's broke. It's 8 o'clock at night. There's no oxygen in the tank. So I took him out, and I put him into my 55 tank. Took the filter out, and I said, let me mess with this, see what's going on. Well, the filter from the the carbon filter had broke open, and several of the carbon pieces fell down into the impeller and stopped it from spinning. So I cleaned it out, and now it's working great. But then I noticed my baby guppies, had babies. Actually, I noticed this before the filter because I was getting really pissed off. I do not like to kill things without a reason. I don't like watching things die without a reason. And I'm sitting there thinking, before I fix the filter, that these little babies, I mean, they're tip of a pencil. They're that small. And I'm thinking, crap, they are going to friggin' die. And that I don't like that. I don't like, as most conservatives do, we're not into senseless killing of items, creatures. I know we're painted as these evil people that like to hunt, but we also don't like senseless killing. And these little guppies they're not expensive to buy. Well, I thought they were going to die which motivated me to check the filter and really try to get it. Well, I got it back up and running. Now, the bigger guppies, even though they're still babies, which I didn't even know they can have babies, well, I can't put them back in the 20-gallon tank because they'll just eat the babies up. So now I got about 6-7 of these guppies in my 55, and the issue I'm having is, well, they're trying to hide, so they're going into the overflow section, which I had to do a water rescue in between break, and that's why this story came about. But the thing is, I got 4 angelfish. They're about medium size, and one of them, for some reason, is all of a sudden getting aggressive. It's getting aggressive with the other angelfish, and I don't know what's going on because it wasn't there before. So I'm hoping it's just the tank is a little off kilter right now, and everything will calm down the next couple of days, and I won't have to worry about, every day looking in the overflow to make sure that the guppies didn't go in there, and then hope that they don't get sucked up through the pipe and into the filter. Now, the funny part is, one time that happened with a younger fish, and I believe it was a guppy. And what happened is, it was small enough, it went through the filter, because it's lava rock piled in there. And it went into because I have a sump pump underneath it's not the normal that you would get from Walmart. All right, I got a small tank underneath the fish tank. And there's lava rock, and the water flows through that. What happens is bacteria builds on that lava rock. And as the water flows through, it filters the water. Because the bacteria eats all the bad things, and it's a symbiotic relationship. And then you get that puddling of water underneath until the sump pump sucks it up and blows it back into my tank. Well, one day I'm looking in there, and I see this guppy just swimming around. Just swimming around, chilling out. He had been in there several weeks. I was like, holy shit, that's funny. Yeah, so I had to do a water rescue right before, or during that break I had to do it. I don't like seeing animals senselessly killed. There was, I was changing over the 20-gallon tank because I had all those babies. So I was changing the 20-gallon tank. I was going to make it into my guppy baby tank. And, I had a crawfish, a couple other things in there. So I gathered them up, went to the pet store, and I know the local pet store guy. And I was like, here, I'm changing my tank over. And one of the people were like, why'd you bring him in? I'm like, I don't like senselessly killing him. I could bring him here, and he can resell him. I don't care about the money. It was like it was a BS tank that was setting up. So I brought the leftovers to the guy and let him resell it for cheap. And the guy's like, all right, you got a point. Just wasted. What am I going to do? Flush him down the toilet? That's a senseless killing. I don't believe in it. I don't. Well, that's my little personal life story. I know it has nothing to do with the show, but I just thought I'd share with you guys. Now, because I've shaken everything up, I got all my tanks need to be restocked, and that's going to take a while. No problem, Dave. I laugh because the first hour, especially today, it kind of dragged on. But I think it's that kind of day. I'm looking outside and it's overcast, dreary, which means that's why I'm in pain. And I'm very sluggish. I'm starting to wake up, but very sluggish. So 147 FBI agents are working on Hillary Clinton's email investigation. That's just the email investigation. That has led into other investigations. They're investigating the Clinton Foundations because of funding issues. They're investigating the Clinton Foundation because some of those donations could have come about through her work as Secretary of State. The Hillary Clinton private email server investigation is being worked on by 147 FBI agents. Now, if this was just a security check like Hillary Clinton has said, you don't need 147 FBI agents. That is ridiculous. They are investigating it because there is possible criminal intent here. The Washington Post reports that 147 different agents are working all sides of the probe, according to a lawmaker who spoke with FBI Director James Comey about what is transpiring behind the scenes. The FBI recently kicked its investigation into high gear as agents and prosecutors are setting up interview with Clinton's top aides, presumably including Huma Abedin and Cheryl Mills. The case hinges on whether Clinton violated a provision in the Espionage Act of 1913. The law, 18 U.S. Code and 793 subsection F, makes it clear that anyone who has material relating to national defense cannot lose or give them away. The law is broken through gross negligent permit materials to be removed from its proper place of custody or delivered to anyone in violation of his trust, or to be lost, stolen, abstracted, or destroyed. The penalty, a fine, an imprisonment term up to 10 years, or both. And it is per offense. That'd be per email. Clinton used a non-secure BlackBerry to conduct classified State Department business, and there is evidence that her device was compromised on her first official trip to China as Secretary of State. On March 11, 2009, a State Department official whose name is redacted sent an email to another State Department official whose name is redacted. That email, obtained in a lawsuit by Judicial Watch, might be the smoking gun in the Hillary Clinton email case. The official stated that Hillary Clinton approached Ambassador Boswell and asked him about BlackBerry use. Specifically, Clinton asked about the fact that the department had intelligence concerning the vulnerability during her recent trip to Asia. And I hate what I hear. I don't want to say hate because it makes me laugh, actually. When I hear her supporters say, well, she said she didn't break the law. She didn't break the law. She said, you know what? You have murderers in prison that say they're innocent. Does that make them innocent? It's... Just because she says it does not make it real. I can say I am a Oompa Loompa. I don't make candy. I may eat it, but I don't make it. I could say I'm the Pope. Probably be a better Pope than what we have now. But it doesn't make me the Pope. Her saying she's innocent and she didn't do anything wrong does not make her innocent and does not make that she did not break the law. The official wrote, after this morning's management meeting with the Secretary Clinton approached Ambassador Boswell and mentioned that she had read the IM and that she gets it. Her attention was drawn to the sentence that indicated we, DS, have intelligence concerning her vulnerability during a recent trip to Asia. Secretary Clinton has asked Ambassador Boswell for this information. Please prepare a short, informal paper or provide the Secretary with a briefing on this matter. Your assistance is appreciated. The Secretary did not provide a due date, but the Ambassador would like to close this loop as soon as possible. Clinton continued to use her BlackBerry as late as 2011. 2 years after this warning, according to former State Department official Wendy Sherman. Since the FBI seized Clinton's email in August, the scandal has haunted her campaign. Senior White House advisor Valerie Jarrett threw Clinton under the bus, saying that the White House provided guidance to the State Department telling employees to use official government email accounts. Breitbart News reported, based on high-level government sources, that of 7 emails originally being analyzed by investigators to determine their classification stated, 2 were deemed top secret, and at least 2 were already classified when they were sent, meaning Clinton was sending and receiving classified information that she knew to be classified. The CIA made the classification. This woman blatantly ignored law. This woman thinks she is above the law. She has been breaking the law since the 1970s. She was kicked off of committees for being unethical by Democrats. That's the funny part. Democrats tossed her off of a committee. This is just proof that she has ignored the law and what she is supposed to do and her commitment. It's not about being vice president. It's about her being the first female. She don't care about the country, people. Get it through your head. When she said we lost nobody in Libya, that should have been number one warning. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on shrmedia.com and hbpundit.com. Trying to make sense out of the senseless, but 4 dead Americans are still 4 dead Americans. We'll be right back.
Right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cough for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays 2 ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a live broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. And if you like the live stream, put a comment in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Again, I had to have a 12-year-old daughter give me marketing advice to do that. It was just funny. Dad, I got an idea for you. I was like, all right, sweetie, what's up? She's like, oh, for your show on YouTube, what you need to do is remind them to, if they like it, to make a comment and to subscribe, Dad. And it was kind of an aha moment and a oh shit moment as my daughter just showed me up. That was disheartening a little bit. But don't forget, if you also want to support the show or SHR Media, go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store, snatch up a t-shirt, coffee mug, or even a Reaver or SHR Media jersey. So Judicial Watch is saying that Obama administration withholds draft Whitewater indictment of Hillary Clinton. Cites privacy of public interest in material about potential Clinton crimes. Draft indictment bears on Ms. Clinton's honesty, credibility, and trustworthiness for the position she currently seeks. Judicial Watch announced that it is asking a federal court to order the National Archives and Record Administration to release draft criminal indictments of Hillary Clinton. In its motion for summary judgment, the National Archive claimed that the draft involves a significant Clinton privacy interest that is not outweighed by any public interest. In its March 11th opposition brief, Judicial Watch countered that argument, making false statements and withholding evidence from a federal investigator bears on Ms. Clinton's honesty, credibility, and trustworthiness for the position she currently seeks, rendering the National Archives claim neither serious nor credible. Those developments stem from October 20th, 2015 Judicial Watch Freedom of Information lawsuit. Judicial Watch versus National Archive and Record Administration, number 15-CV, that's Car Victor 01740. All versions of the indictments against Hillary Rodham Clinton, including but not limited to versions 1, 2, and 3 in box 225. A lot of jargon and pretty much is just a waste of time to tell all you guys, because I'm pretty sure my audience is smart enough that they know where to find this information. In fact, if you go to Facebook and type Judicial Watch, you will come up with these articles from their Facebook. The draft indictments relate to allegations that Clinton provided false information and withheld evidence from federal investigator to conceal her involvement with the defunct Madison Guaranty Savings and Loans, the collapse of which led to multiple criminal convictions. Clinton provided legal representation to Madison Guaranty as an attorney as the Rose Law Firm in Little Rock, Arkansas. Clinton's Rose Law Firm billing records, long sought by prosecutors, were found in the private quarters of the White House shortly after an important statute of limitation had expired. In his motion for summary judgment, the National Archives confirms that it has located the Clinton draft indictments, stating, including among the records of Mr. Starr and his successors are drafts of a proposed indictment of Hillary Rodham Clinton. The National Archive claims that Clinton's right to privacy supersedes the public interest concerning the draft indictment.
It also claims that the release would violate grand jury secrecy protection and that Mrs. Clinton has a strong interest in not being associated unwarrantedly with alleged criminal activity. This woman has been involved in these incidents going all the way back to Watergate. This woman sat and did nothing except email her daughter and watched as 4 Americans were murdered. I am without doubt, I am 100% certain, they thought that all those people in that annex building would not survive the night. That they would have been wiped out, and the truth of why they were there would be kept a secret. They could have swept the whole thing under the rug. What they didn't count on was that those forces were going up against some of our greatest military personnel. These guys knew what the hell they were doing, and they survived. She tried to whitewash it. She tried to cover it up. This woman does not give a shit about this country. She does not give a shit about the people. She only cares about herself. She only cares about to go down in history. She will screw this country over every turn she can as long as it makes her money, her daughter money. That's all she cares about. She will lie, cheat, and steal. And the proof throughout the last several decades have shown she does not care. She'll say what is needed to be popular. She will do what's needed to be popular. She stands for nothing, but talks about everything. She is not a champion for the liberals. She is not a champion for the Democrat Party. She says what needs to be said, and I know most politicians do that, but she takes it to a whole nother level. And now she's expecting for political favors, for information to be withheld, so it doesn't tarnish this image she has built. I don't understand how people can be so blind and actually believe that she is serious about what she's doing. This woman is not out for the best interest. She's the worst of the worst. That is the one we all should be standing and fighting. Not amongst each other. Our common goal should be to fight her. This infighting is about... it is not the smartest thing for the party. And Hillary is sitting there laughing at us. Hillary is having fun watching it because it hurts us more and more and helps her. I don't care who you support. I don't care who you support, but what is going on is unacceptable. And this woman is still running for president. She should be running for jail. If any of us did 1/10 of what this woman has done, we would be in jail. We would be in jail for doing exactly that. It drives me up a wall. She has held positions, and she has sold us out to our enemies. And now she wants to be our leader. That's the one I'm fighting against. Said it before and I'll say it again. I gave my word to Chris I'd fight for the survivors of Benghazi, and one of the things fight for is fighting against this evil woman. Figuratively, we got to drop a house on her. Figuratively. And if you don't understand what I mean, God, I feel old. So, with that, I bid everybody a good day. Remember, if you liked the YouTube videos, comment, hit subscribe, and I'll be sure to let my daughter know that I actually brought it up today. And with that, have a good day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.